Now, next. Okay. Next one is artillery and effective weapons exclusively put or exclusively given in the hand of European troops. In the hand of European troops. Okay. See,
आर्टिलरी कौन सा?
artillery means you can say the important weapons, all important weapons, the sophisticated weapons have been given in the hand of Europeans. Okay. Were only given in the hands of Europeans. Britishers realized that if these weapons would be given in Indian hands, then they can use against us. The Indians can use against the Britishers, and that is why they said that these artillery and other important or effective sophisticated weapons, okay, is to be given only in the hands of European troops or British troops. Only in the hands of European troops or British troops. Very simple. Okay. No Indians will get artillery and sophisticated weapons from now. No Indians. Okay. No Indians. कि बढ़िया बढ़िया जो weapons है वो सबको नहीं पता चलता है ना कि कैसे चलाते हैं इसको. Okay. And they in times of uprising they could deal with the situation easily. Okay, hope that point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Next, increase in expenditure on army. Definitely what happens in the army, there is increase in the British troops or European troops. There is increase in the European troops and their salaries were high. Okay, just remember their salaries were what? 8 times that of the Indian soldiers. 8 times that of the Indian soldiers. Okay, so Indian sepo is 8 times more for the same kind of task. Okay, they get 8 times more salaries. Okay.
Yes.
So definitely if there is increase in British troops, okay, there is increase in British troops, the expenditure will also have to increase. Okay, so due to increase in European troops, it is natural that expenditure on army would have to be increased. Okay, would be increased. This point. Now coming to results pertaining to religious and social, religious or social economic field. Okay. So first, freedom of religion was given. We have discussed 1829 Act, that is regulation 17. Sati system was put. Okay, a ban was put on Sati system. Widow remarriage act. Okay, right to inherit property was given to Christian convert. Okay, by the law of 1832 and 1850s. Okay, 1832 and 1850. Okay, so what happens? They said that all these things have been considered as an interference in the affair of state. All these things have been considered as an interference in the affair of state. All this considered as an interference in the affair of a state. So, they said, now freedom of religion would be given. Simply they will not interfere in religious affair. Okay, so here religious freedom would be given, or this person becomes very happy. Okay, yes, we will get religious freedom. Okay, we will get religious freedom. Okay, so religious freedom. Now coming to free and fair, we will discuss each of them. Okay, free and impartial admittance to the service means now Indians would also be appointed at higher post, irrespective of color or race. Or religion. Indians would also be appointed at higher post. Okay, and now definitely it is very much clear that the relation between Indians and Europeans, will not be good. Okay, just there is an uprising. So what happens? Indians, means Britishers will hate Indians. Okay, because both of them have killed each other. Okay, fought each other. So definitely Britishers started hating Indians and Indians started hating Britishers. Okay, this is one of the major factor behind the growth of nationalism. Okay, सब नफरत होना शुरू होता है तो है ना, फिर जो लोग नफरत होते हैं सब मिलके यूनाइट हो जाते हैं और all of unite, okay, all Indians get unite, widening the gap between Hindus and Muslims. Actually, you know what happens after the Great Uprising of 1857? The Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule. Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule. Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule. Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule, and due to which there was distrust. Okay, miss, a distrust developed between Hindus and Muslims, and this was done intentionally by the Britishers. Okay, so that British rule in India could last long. British rule in India could last long. दो लड़ेंगे और Britishers यहाँ rule करेंगे. Now, economic exploitations. What about economic exploitations? See, the East India Company was already exploiting in India. Okay, economic resources of India. East India Company was already exploiting the economic resources of India, but when the government of India passes in the hands of Crown and Parliament, okay, exploitation increased. Okay, and it becomes much wider. Exploitation increased and it becomes much wider. Exploitation increased and it becomes much wider. So I hope different heads are clear. That is promise of religious freedom, promise of free and impartial admittance to the service, straining of relation between Europeans and Indians, widening of gulf between Hindus and Muslims, and economic exploitations. So you can see now, first one, okay, promise of religious freedom. It was declared in 1858, Queen's Declaration of 1858, that there would be no interference in the religious affair. Point is very much clear. No interference. Okay. Now, promise of free and impartial admittance. Now, Indians would be appointed at higher post. Indians would be appointed at higher. Okay. Indians were promised for the appointment higher post. Okay, without or irrespective of religion. Okay, caste, color. Okay, race, etc. Okay. तो यहाँ पे ऐसे इंडियंस थोड़ा हैप्पी होंगे, बहुत ज़्यादा हैप्पी नहीं होंगे. क्यों? बोले सर एटलीस्ट सम ऑफ अस विल गेट हायर पोस्ट. एटलीस्ट सम ऑफ अस, क्योंकि पूरा को तो नहीं मिलेगा, है ना. सो एटलीस्ट सम ऑफ अस विल गेट हायर पोस्ट. तो कुछ तो ठीक लगता है इनको, है ना. नेक्स्ट मैं वहाँ पे बताया वैसा ही कुछ करके. स्ट्रेनिंग द रिलेशनशिप. सो ओके, what happens? Indians and Europeans committed such atrocity against each other, the relation between the two had widened, and Indians started hating Britishers, and Britishers started hating Indians. Okay, ये बोल रहे नहीं तुम पे डाउट होगा, और ये बोल रहे नहीं तुम पे डाउट है ना. All Indians were seen with suspicions by the Britishers. Okay, so and after the Great Uprising, what I said, the Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule. Britishers adopted the policy of divide and rule. Okay, divide and rule. Okay, so what happens? They introduced such policy which created distrust between Hindus and Muslims. Distrust between Hindus and Muslims. Okay, so what happened? Differences between the two has increased. अब इन दोनों को भी विश्वास नहीं रहा एक दूसरे पर, है ना. Why this was done? Because Hindu-Muslim unity okay has played a major role in the Great Uprising. सब मिलके पीटा था ब्रिटिशर्स को, है ना. So Hindu-Muslim unity has played a major role. Okay, or became a great threat for the British authority. So what happens? They adopted such policy. Okay, और finally बना ही देंगे पाकिस्तान में, है ना. Economic exploitations. Okay, so I said already the company was exploiting India's resources. Okay, already company was exploiting India's resources, but when government of India passes in the hands of Crown, okay, Crown and Parliament, okay, the you can say exploitation increased and it becomes much wider. It becomes much wider. Okay, it becomes much wider. Exploitation increased and it becomes much wider. Okay, and with this the chapter comes to an end. With this the chapter comes to an end. So some questions are there for practice questions. You can
Book
practice
value
them.
and usage.